Hey everyone, this time our guest is Ainsley customer Michael Shaw from Shaw Underwriting out from Toronto, Canada. So welcome Michael, and thank you for joining us.
So very nice to be here today and great to see you once again.
Yeah, I almost forgot, my 2-year-old child gave me these magical glasses, so I should put them on to look more serious on these videos. I promise to wear these on important meetings. So when we prepared for this call, then we identified 3 common areas of interest. One is that we both work in insurance. Secondly, we both love wind and sails. And thirdly, we have children in more or less the same age bracket. And for some interesting reason, we decided to talk about insurance today. Maybe to start with, you can give a short update what Shaw Underwriting is doing and what's your personal background.
Yeah, for sure. We started Shaw Underwriting in mid-2019. My partner Dave Alexander and I have both been in the professional liability insurance space for over 20 years, and we just thought we'd love to create a business that took all the best bits from all the companies that we had previously worked at and incorporate them into a company of our own that we could build and grow together by using our experience and our contacts and connections. And we felt by taking the best bits that we'd learned along the way was probably the greatest chance for success, as we'd seen it work before, and hopefully we can translate that into a successful operation.
And what products are you actually offering to the customer? So what's your
so our niche is professional liability. So we offer professional liability to architects, engineers, insurance brokers, accountants, all that professional sort of side of the business, as well as technology companies. There's a lot of tech startups here in Canada, so we also offer a package of insurance that they usually require to get up and running. And of course, directors and officers liability. We offer a broad range of covers for directors and officers who are raising money or already at an existing company, and we help protect the company's balance sheet really by offering that cover. So those are the 2 main lines of business at the minute.
Okay, great. And let's say at one point in your company's development stage, you decided that you should upgrade, or you should have some good technology in place to run your business. So please explain us, how did you, what led you to make that decision, and actually how did you work before you had updated technology in place?
Correct. Yeah, we had a very manual process in place. Previously we used Excel spreadsheets as databases. We would do mail merges with Microsoft Word. It was not very robust. So really the reason we had was really twofold. Really regulatory reason, being a Lloyds cover holder, we obviously needed a secure system and a place that's very auditable for the regulators to check our accounts and whatnot. And second was for speed of entry and speed to market with a quote with our product. And so we needed to enter the data once in one place, not 2 or 3 times in different places. And we needed a system that could provide a fast turnaround for our clients, for our brokers. They submit a submission to us, and usually these clients are starting their business and want to get on with it. So what we do is we can provide less than 24-hour turnaround to their clients, and having a good system in place, we can do that very, very quickly.
Okay, I think that explains quite well the situation of average MGA. So, but now, if you made that decision that yes, I need to change, I need to upgrade, like how did you actually go about finding the right solution? Because as to my understanding, there's quite a lot of IT systems available, and for, let's say, non-professional IT buyer, I think it should be quite difficult to check and make research and decide what the right system should be.
What the right Yeah, well, again, it came down to for our decision. We knew what we wanted. We very much knew what we wanted. We had played on systems, worked on systems prior in our lives at our different companies that we had worked at during our career, and we knew we couldn't build a system. We knew we couldn't build a business with the system we had. We wanted to build a first-class MGA, and in order to build a first-class MGA, we needed a first-class underwriting system. Again, taking those best bits that we had at our prior companies and incorporating them in this company. So the buying process or the choosing process was actually very straightforward for us. You mentioned there are a lot of choices out there and a lot of companies offering. But what we did was we met a colleague of yours, Martin Kosk, about 3 or 4 years ago. He was out in Canada, and he bumped into me, and we chatted, and he told me a bit about Inslee and your background and how many MGAs you've helped in the past. And he demonstrated the system to us. I think Dave and I just looked at each other. As I said, we'd probably worked on 8 or 10 systems between the two of us. And as soon as we saw it, we were like, that's it. That's exactly the one we want. So it really, when it came down to actually deciding, after we saw your system in action, we were very convinced, and we knew we didn't really have to shop anywhere else. So it was a fairly easy decision, actually. You made it easy for us.
Okay. So you didn't talk with 10 providers, just went with the first one that you saw, and so far.
We almost pretty much did, right? Yeah, it was. I mean, we just had worked on other systems, had looked at third parties offering it before, and yours was just a lot more user-friendly. So we liked it from the get-go.
And now after actually using Inslee for 3 months, right, in your business, then what are like the clear benefits to your company, to yourself, what you can quantify, and what you are actually okay to share with others as well?
Yeah, well, in our sector, our section of the insurance business is quite a large business is insurance, but in our sector, they're usually very small accounts that we look at a very high volume. So what we have to do is we have to turn those around very, very quickly. We'll get a submission in, we'll get information in on an application form, and we have to be able to enter it into a system and make an underwriting decision rather quickly. So what the Inslee system has allowed us to do, it's so slick and very streamlined. We can do one entry into the system and we can make very fast decisions. It can take the information, it can rate it for you, and generate a quote letter. And from a quote letter, we can quickly generate a binder and then the full policy documents, all in one simple place. So we're able to capture all that underwriting information we need to provide for our capacity providers, and also make a decision in-house on whether we want to write that account very quickly and send that out to our customers. So our customers are very happy that we can turn around quotes usually within 24 hours, if not 12 hours of receiving them. So, and I must admit, with having a very, very small operation like ours, at the moment we're only 2 underwriters and 2 support staff. So all this back-end office that now Inslee takes care of for us, we don't need to have 4 and 5 back office staff doing data entry for us. And lastly, it's web-based. So during this pandemic, we were able to work from home or really from anywhere on the system. So immediate impact, it really has. It's streamlined our business and made us able to deliver on our promise.
So did I kind of capture it correctly? Because it's not only about compliance and efficiency, but it actually also increases your sale, because kind of the first, when you deliver the quotes fast, when you deliver the good quality, then it will boost hopefully your sales as well. So kind of, do you already have that impact felt as well, or is just at the moment this kind of assumption that it might increase your sales as well?
Yeah, correct. It has absolutely increased our sales. We've been able to turn things around, and when we turn things around faster, we will get more submissions in, because our clients realize that we can turn it around very, very quickly. And therefore, we've seen quite an uptake on a per broker basis by being able to offer fast service. And that's what they want. They want the path of least resistance. And that's what we've been able to deliver with this new system.
But it's interesting you said, let's say 12, 24 hours. Why it still takes so long? Why it's not like 20 seconds? So you still have certain kind of human touch involved in making the proposals, right?
Yeah, correct. We do. I guess that's the promise we make. We have to be careful of the promise we make. We could probably quite easily say within an hour. We probably can. And a lot of quotes actually are done in 2 or 3 hours. It's just a matter of the volume coming in, the time it takes in the queue to get to each one. So we usually say within the day, within the business day, we can usually turn it around, but 24 hours seems a nice number. That
okay,
if it came in at 3 o'clock, you can get it out the next day before 3 o'clock. So it and these companies, most of them that we insure, are startup companies. Believe it or not, insurance isn't the most important thing on their mind, and they want to take care of it very quickly and relatively inexpensively, and put it to bed and move on with what they need to be doing. So it works out very nice.
Okay, great. Let's now zoom up a little bit. You have worked in insurance for, let's say, as insurance executive in big companies for around 10 years, and now last 2 years you have been like entrepreneur yourself with full skin in the game and all the problems and happiness that comes along with it. Out of these last 2 years, what would be your stories or advices to share with other people that are in a similar situation who are thinking about what about quitting a job in the insurance company and making MGA?
Yeah, exactly. It's I guess the first thing I could say is the highs are very high, but the lows are very low. And you win an account or you meet budget that month. It's an extreme high. You're like, oh my God, we actually went out and did what we said we would do, and it's an amazing feeling. But sometimes things don't always work out the way you planned them to, and the lows can be very, very low. I think the advice: have a very clear plan. A clear, concise plan that you want to do, and if you're not working on something that makes that plan happen or work, get off of it and get back on to doing something that makes that plan work. Another one that seems so obvious and simple, but work with people you know, like, and trust. That's a big one for me. Have a backup plan too. You might have a plan to have this capacity in place or that product. Have a backup plan if that doesn't work out, have a backup plan for that backup plan. So no surprises. If this goes off the rails, you have a contingency plan in place that can be executed right away, and you don't have any surprises or gaps, and you can get back on track and keep focused on your plan. I also, lastly, I recommend having a team with complementary skills. Not everyone's great at everything, and what you're good at, find out what you're not good at, and work with someone alongside you that is good at that, so you have complementary skills together. And that's another big lesson I've learned. And lastly, the nice thing about the MGA setup is we can be agile and nimble. We can be able to take advantage of an opportunity or a gap in the market and jump in and create a product. And to be honest, with having an underwriting system that we have now through Inslee, we can really capitalize fast on that. We can create a new product, we can set it up in the system and add on to our regular suite of products that we already have. So those are kind of the main sort of things I've learned over the last 2 years of being an entrepreneur in the business.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing your story with our audience and for joining us. Everyone else, stay tuned for other similar stories from our customers and other insurtech companies who are all making hopefully insurance more fun place to work in. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Take care of yourself. All the best.